Gold Day, Province and Division of Davao de Oro. Welcome to this episode of TV Escuela, especially to our grade 7 learners of Special Program in Sports. I am teacher Christene Geoseth Sayson Balidio from Compostela National High School, Compostela East District. Today, we will learn things about table tennis. Before we will proceed, make sure you prepare your notebook and pen. Are you ready? Now let us start our lesson. First, let us check if you have some knowledge about the sport table tennis. Can you identify the pictures that belong to the sport table tennis? Great job! We will further learn about this sport as we journey to our lesson. At the end of the lesson, you are expected to learn the history of table tennis, identify the equipments and basic skills in table tennis, and understand the different rules in playing table tennis. Now it is time to learn. Table tennis is a ball game similar in principle to lawn tennis and played on a flat table divided into two equal courts by a net fixed across its width at the middle. The objective is to hit the ball so that it goes over the net and bounces on the opponent's half of the table in such a way that the opponent cannot reach it or return it correctly. The lightweight hollow ball is propelled back and forth across the net by small rackets held by the players. The game is popular all over the world. In most countries, it is very highly organized as a competitive sport, especially in Europe and Asia, particularly in China and Japan. Now, let us talk about the history of table tennis. Table tennis evolved along with the badminton and lawn tennis in 1880s. Early version of game in 1890 had cloth-covered rubber ball, strong racket, and wooden fences around the table. Changes started in 1900s when celluloid ball was used, and its name changed to ping pong due to the sound of the ball. The game was invented in England in the early days of the 20th century and was originally called ping pong, its trade name. The name table tennis was adopted in 1921 to 1922 when the old Ping Pong Association, formed in 1902, was revived. The original association had broken up about 1905, though apparently the game continued to be played in parts of England outside London and by the 1920s was being played in many countries. Led by representatives of Germany, Hungary, and England, the International Table Tennis Federation was founded in 1926. The founding members being England, Sweden, Hungary, India, Denmark, Germany, Czechoslovakia, Austria, and Wales. By the mid-1990s, more than 165 national associations were members. The first World Championships were held in London in 1926. And from then until 1939, the game was dominated by players from Central Europe, the men's team event being won 9 times by Hungary and twice by Czechoslovakia. In the mid-1950s, Asia emerged as a breeding ground of champions, and from that time, the men's team event has been won by either Japan or China. And as the women's event, though to a lesser extent. North Korea also became an international force. In 1980, the first World Cup was held, and Gu Yuwa of China won the $12,500 first prize. Table tennis became an Olympic sport in 1988, with singles and doubles competition for men and women. This time, we will talk about the history of table tennis in the Philippines. In 1899, during the American GIs, early educators called Thomasites introduced table tennis using sandpaper rackets to locals in the Philippines during the period. After the American GIs left, table tennis remained as a primary form of inexpensive recreation in the Philippines. Because these early rackets were made of sandpaper surfaces by the Parker Brothers Company in the USA, it became known as liha in Tagalog from that point onward. There you have it, the history of table tennis. Let us check how much you learned. Let us do a short activity. Answer the following questions. Choose your answers from the word box and write them in your notebook. Number 1. When did the International Table Tennis Federation was founded? Again, when did the International Table Tennis Federation was founded? Number 2. What is the famous trade name of table tennis? Again, what is the famous trade name of table tennis? Number 3. Who introduced table tennis in the Philippines? Again, who introduced table tennis in the Philippines? Are you done? Good! Now, let us check your answers. What is your answer for number 1? Correct! The International Table Tennis Federation was founded in 1926. Let us move on to number 2. That is correct! Ping pong is a famous trade name of table tennis. What about number 3? Amazing! Thomasites introduced table tennis to locals in the Philippines. You did great in our activity. Now, let us talk about the equipment used in table tennis. The following are the equipments needed in playing table tennis. First, we have the table tennis racket. Table tennis rackets should be flat and rigid. It can be in any size, shape, or weight. Minimum 85% of blade thickness should constitute natural wood. Next, we have the table. The tables in the official table tennis game are rectangular surface that has 9 feet or 274 centimeters long and 5 feet or 152.5 centimeters wide. The playing surface is placed 2 feet 6 inches or 76 centimeters above the ground. The table surface should be dark colored with 3/4 inch or 2 centimeters white line running along each edge. The table should offer uniform bounce during the game. Next is ball. The table tennis ball is spherical and is 40 millimeters in diameter. The ball is made of celluloid or similar plastic material. It generally weighs 2.7 grams. Then we have the net. The net is placed at the center, dividing the table into two equal halves. The net is placed 6 inches or 15.25 centimeters above the playing surface. You have learned the history and equipments used in this sport. This time, let us talk about the skills that you should learn to play table tennis. We have 2 skills that you should learn before playing this sport. First is the grip. It is how you hold the racket. Then we have the stroke. It is how you paddle and hit the ball. Let us discuss it further. There are 2 types of grips. First, we have the penhold. The penhold grip is named because one grips the racket similarly to the way one holds a writing instrument. The style of play among penhold players can vary greatly from player to player. The most popular style, usually referred to as the Chinese penhold style, involves curling the middle, ring, and 4th finger on the back of the blade with the 3 fingers always remain touching one another. Second is the shake hand grip. The shake hand grip is named because one grips the racket similarly to the way one performs a handshake. The grip is sometimes referred to as the tennis grip or the Western grip, although it has no correlation to the Western grip used in tennis. The shake hand grip is traditionally popular among players originating in Western nations and South Asian nations. Is it clear? Great job! There are different types of strokes that you could use depending on the attack and defense of the opponent. The first stroke is the backhand push. The backhand push is a defensive stroke using backspin to make it hard for the opponent to attack. By pushing short, you limit the options. Your opponent has to take the initiative. The second stroke is the forehand push. When executing the forehand push, you need to impart some backspin. This makes it hard for your opponent to attack the ball. By pushing short, your opponent will not be able to take a full swing at the ball. Third stroke is the forehand topspin. The forehand topspin is one of the most fun strokes to play. And once you learn how to impart a strong topspin on the ball, it will become a very consistent stroke. Fourth stroke is the backhand topspin. The backhand topspin should be learned at the same time as the forehand topspin. It is a great attacking stroke that can really improve your game. By being able to play such an aggressive shot from your backhand side, your opponent will find it difficult to stop you gaining the initiative. The fifth stroke is the backhand block. The backhand block is used against an attacking topspin. As your opponent's shot will be fast, you won't need to make the pace yourself, and so the stroke can be quite short. You will need to vary the angle of your racket depending on the amount of topspin on the ball. The next stroke is the forehand block. The forehand block is used against an attacking topspin. As your opponent's shot will be fast, you won't need to make the pace yourself. You will need to vary the angle of your racket depending on the amount of topspin on the ball. Then we have the forehand smash. The forehand smash is used as an attacking stroke to try and win the point. The most common mistake we see players make with the forehand smash is falling to get themselves into position. The key to the smash is to get your feet moving early and get into a good position. And lastly, the table tennis serve. The table tennis serve is the most important stroke in the game because it provides the only situation in which you have the total control over how and where you play the ball. We already have discussed the different equipment and skills needed to play table tennis. This time, we will have another activity. Kindly write your answers in your notebook. Identify the skills shown in each picture. Number 1. The answer is forehand block. Correct. Number 2. You get it right. It is backhand push. Number 3. Correct. The answer is table tennis serve. Number 4. That is right. The answer is forehand top spin. Number 5. Excellent. It is backhand top spin. You got it all correctly. You did a great job for today's lesson. That's it for today. I hope you learned a lot of things about table tennis. This is your special program and sports specialist, Christene Geoseth Sayson Balidio from Compostela National High School, Compostela East District. Saying, dito sa TV Eskwela, sa pag-aaral, sama-sama. Bye-bye!